The Rays take on the Yankees, 1:05 Eastern first pitch. The Yankees are the $1.35 favorite, totals 8.5. The Rays are plus $1.15 for some money line cash. We got John Curtis for the Rays, James Paxton for the Yankees. I'm 3-0 my last three NBA tier package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. I'm also hitting at 64% my last 14 MLB tier package plays on that site as well. For more information on how you can join in on the action, the link for that site is in the description section below. That's patreon.com/Brock Page. Now, the Rays are on a 4-game winning streak, 2 back-to-back victories over the Yankees during that stretch. Tampa's also posted a record of 10-1 straight up in their last 11, and they rank in the top 10 in run production per contest. John Curtis takes the mound for Tampa this afternoon, 1-0 record with a 2.84 ERA. Curtis also has a whip of just .79, while this Rays pitching staff ranks in the top 5 in fewest walks allowed. Brandon Lau leads the club in hits and batting average. Brandon's hitting .337, which ranks 12th in Major League Baseball. He's also slammed 8 homers and knocked in 23 RBI, which is tied for 3rd in the majors as well. Willie Adams is batting .293 with 8 ribbies and 8 doubles. The Rays are in the top 5 in striking batters out, top 10 in road hits. Now, they are taking on a Yankees squad who's still quite a bit banged up. A lot of their big stars you won't see anytime soon. We got Stanton, LeMahieu, and Judge still out. The Yankees have James Paxton on the bump for him today. Just 1-1 with a 7.04 ERA and a 1.63 whip. The Yankees are in the bottom half of the league in hits allowed at home, bottom 10 in home strikeouts. Now, total-wise, 67% of the Yankees' home games this season got over the posted total. Meanwhile, the Rays are 10-4 to the over when they travel themselves. 5 out of their last 7 against the American League got over the posted total as well. Give me the Underdog Rays plus $1.15 and the over 8.5 in that game. And before we go ahead and move on, just want to take another quick time out and welcome you to the video. Got some lines and personal leans out for Thursday's Major League Baseball action. Happy Thursday to you. The weekend is right around the corner. But before we dive into some more free content right here on YouTube, I just have to quickly remind you once again that we are 3-0 in our last 3 NBA tier package plays on patreon.com/Brock Page. We're also hitting at 64% in our last 14 MLB tier package plays on that site as well. If you want some more information on how you can join in on the action, link for that site is in the description section below. And once again, that's patreon.com/Brock Page. And moving on, we are going to take a look at the Tigers taking on the White Sox, 2:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. Now, the Sox are minus 175, pretty heavily favored in this matchup here. Total's 8.5, juice to the under. The Tigers are the plus 150 underdog. And if you like Detroit to cover, they're minus 145, catching the 1.5. We got Spencer Turnbull for the Tigers, Lucas Giolito for the White Sox. Now, Giolito's allowed 15 earned runs in over 5 starts this season, with 8 of those being scored in the first inning alone. Giolito's just 1-2 on the season with a 4.88 ERA and a 1.41 whip. He's also walked 15 batters in just over 27 innings pitched. The White Sox have won just 6 out of 14 ball games at home this season, and they rank in the bottom 10 in striking out at the plate. They also rank in the bottom 5 in offensive walks at home. They are taking on a Detroit team who's got Spencer Turnbull on the mound this afternoon. He's 2-1 with a 2.78 ERA and 21 strikeouts. And as bad as they've been, the Tigers are still 5-4 straight up away from home this season, and they rank in the top 10 in road scoring. Jose Abreu leads the team in hits, batting average, RBI, and doubles. Jose's batting .277 with 17 ribbies and 6 doubles. Eloy Jimenez leads the club in homers with 7 of them. He's also knocked in 17. And Yasmani Grandal currently has an OBP of .346. Now, total-wise, 12 out of Detroit's last 16 road games dating back to last season have stayed under the posted total. They're also 5-1 to the under in their last 6 at Guaranteed Rate Field. Give me the Tigers, the underdog Tigers, plus 1.5, and the under 8.5 in that game. Next contest, Astros Rockies, 3:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Rockies are the $1.35 favorite. Totals 11.5, juiced 10 cents to the under. The Astros are plus $1.15 for some money line cash. And if you like the Astros for some run line cash, they're minus $1.60, catching the 1.5. Now we got Christian Javier for the Stros, German Marquez for the Rockies. Marquez is just 2-3 on the season, 8 walks and 32 innings pitched. The Rockies have lost their last 2 straight when Marquez made the start. Now, Colorado is currently on a 3-game losing streak, with all 3 of those losses coming against this Houston squad. They've also dropped 8 out of their last 10, and they've dipped 4 games back of the Dodgers for first place in the NL West. The Rockies have cashed in on just 6 run lines in their last 14 at home. They're also in the bottom 10 in hits allowed, bottom 3 in striking batters out. They are taking on an Astros squad who's currently on a 7-game tear right now. 7-game winning streak, second place in the AL West, just 2.5 games behind the Athletics. The Astros are in the top 10 in hits, top 5 in scoring. Yuli Gurriel currently leads the club in hits and home runs. He's smashed 5 homers thus far in the season. Carlos Correa currently leads the team in batting average and OBP. He's hitting .321 with an OBP of .406. Martin Maldonado currently leads the squad in RBI with 16. He's also been walked 11 times. Houston's winning 78% of their ball games when laying the juice. They're also in the top 10 in runs allowed, top 10 in striking batters out. Now, total-wise, the Astros have gone 80% to the over when traveling this season. The Rockies on the other side saw 7 out of their last 14 at Coors Field get over the number themselves. Give me another underdog. I like the underdog Astros plus $1.15 and the over 11.5 in that contest. All right, next matchup. It is going to be the Indians taking on the Pirates, 7:05 p.m. East. The Indians are the $2.50 favorite, total 7.5, juice to the over. The Pirates are plus 205 on the money line. And if you like the Pirates on the run line, they're plus $1.20 to get the job done, catching the 1.5. Now we got Trevor Williams for the Buccos, Shane Bieber for the Indians. Bieber is 4-0 on the season with a 1.30 ERA and a .72 whip. Shane struck out 54 batters in just over 34 innings pitched. He's only walked 6. The Indians are on a nice 5-game winning streak, including 2 victories over these Pirates during that stretch. Cleveland scored 33 total runs during that 5-game stretch as well. Cleveland's winning 64% of their games on the road this season. 9-5 ATS during that stretch as well. And of course, when I refer to the spread, ATS, all that good stuff in baseball, I'm referring to the run line. Anyway, Cleveland's won 14 out of 18 when favored, and they rank in the top 3 in hits allowed. They're giving up just 2.7 runs per contest. Franmil Reyes leads the club in hits and batting average. He's batting .301 with 5 homers and 16 RBI. Jose Ramirez has also hit 5 home runs, along with batting in 18. He's also stolen 5 bases. And Cesar Hernandez currently leads the club in doubles with 8 of them. He's walked 13 times and has an OBP of .365. The Indians are in the top 3 in striking batters out. They average 10.4 Ks per game. They're just a half a game behind the Twins for first place in the AL Central. They are taking on a Pirates squad who lost their last 3 straight, along with dropping 13 out of their last 15. Pittsburgh has the fewest wins in Major League Baseball right now. They're just 4-16 straight up on the season, 2-8 straight up at PNC Park. They rank in the bottom 5 in hits, bottom 3 in runs allowed. This Pirates club is averaging less than 4 runs per game. They also have Trevor Williams on the bump tonight, and he's just 1-3 on the season with an ERA just 2 points shy of 4. The Pirates have lost 6 out of their last 7 ball games when Trevor makes the start. Now, total-wise, Pittsburgh went 12-6 of the under in their last 18 head-to-head meetings with the Indians. So, of course, that dates back over, the past season or so. Meanwhile, 11 out of Cleveland's Last 14 road games stayed under the number themselves. 75% of their games for the entire season stayed under the posted total as well. Give me the Indians minus 1.5 and the under 7.5 in that contest. Next game, Brewers Twins, 7:10 p.m. Eastern first pitch. The Twins are minus 120, totals 8.5, juice to the over. The Brewers are plus 105 for an outright win. And if you like them to cover, they're minus $2 catching the 1.5. Now we got Brandon Woodruff for the Brewers, Jose Barrios for the Twins. That is your pitching matchup here today. Barrios for the Twins is just 1-3 on the season, 5.92 ERA and a 1.64 WHIP. Jose's walked 13 batters in just over 24 innings pitched. The Twins are in the bottom 10 in hits on average per game at home, bottom 10 in home scoring. They are taking on a Milwaukee club who has Brandon Woodruff on the bump, 3.16 ERA, 1.05 WHIP. He's fanned 30 batters in just over 25 innings pitched on the year. The Brewers have also won 3 out of their last 4 games. Brandon made the start. Milwaukee has won 4 out of their last 5, including 3 victories against the Cubs during that stretch. They rank in the top 10 in hits allowed, top 3 in striking batters out. Now this Milwaukee rotation is fanning 10.9 batters per game. They're striking out nearly 11 batters per contest. Now Christian Yelich has hit 6 home runs for the Brewers, batted in 14, currently leads the team in bases on balls as well. Avisal Garcia has an OBP of 337, and Justin Smoke has ripped 6 doubles and batted in 8. The Brewers are winning 64% of their games when traveling this season. They're currently in second place in the NL Central as well. Now, total-wise, 4 out of Woodruff's last 5 starts fell under the posted total. 4 out of Milwaukee's last 5 games in Minnesota fell under the number as well. Meanwhile, the Twins on the other side have gone 86% to the under at home this season. A lot of unders for this Minnesota squad. Give me another underdog. I like the Underdog Brewers, plus 105. And the under 8.5 in that game. Next contest, Dodgers, Mariners, 7:10 p.m. East. The Dodgers are minus 275, totals 8.5, juice to the under. The Mariners are plus 225 as the underdog. And if you like them to keep this one close, they're plus 130 to cover. Yusei Kikuchi for the Mariners, Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers. Kershaw's 2-1 with a 2.65 ERA and 18 Ks. Kershaw's walked just 3 batters in 17 innings pitched and has a whip of just .82. The Dodgers have the most wins in Major League Baseball right now, 18-8 on the season, 7-3 straight up in their last 10. They're 4 games ahead of the Rockies and Padres in the division as well. They won 7 out of their last 8 ball games and rank in the top 3 in scoring. Mookie Betts leads the team in hits, batting average, homers, ribbies, and doubles. He's batting .306 with 9 homers and 21 batted in. He's currently tied for 3rd in homers and 6th in RBI. Justin Turner's currently leading the club in on-base percentage. He's got an OBP of 370, and he's also been walked 10 times. And speaking of walks, Max Muncy's been walked 14 times on the year. 13 runs he's scored along with a dozen batted in. The Dodgers are winning 69% of their games when laying the juice. They're also in the top 5 in hits allowed. LA gives up just 3.2 runs per contest. They are taking on a struggling Mariners club who's dropped 10 out of their last 13, and they find themselves in last place in the AL West. They're currently 10 games below 500, and they're 9.5 games behind the A's in the division standings. Seattle's in the bottom 5 in scoring, bottom 5 in runs allowed. Yusei Kikuchi's on the hill for Seattle this evening, 0-1 with a 5.28 ERA and a 1.30 WHIP. The Mariners have lost 5 out of their last 7 games, where Kikuchi makes the start. Seattle's in the bottom 5 in striking batters out, 33% when catching plus money. Really struggling as the underdog. Now, total-wise, 7 out of Seattle's 11 home games on the season stayed under the number. Meanwhile, the Dodgers have gone nearly 60% to the under for the year. Give me the Dodgers minus 1.5 and the under 8.5 in that game. All right, next matchup, it is going to be Rangers-Padres, and that's going to be an 8:10 p.m. Eastern start time. The Padres are minus 180, totals 8.5 flat. The Rangers are plus $1.55 for an outright win. They're also minus $1.40 catching the 1.5 on the run line. Kyle Gibson for the Rangers. Dinelson Lamet for the Padres. Lamet's 2-1 with a 1.59 ERA. He struck out 36 batters in just over 28 innings pitched, and he has a whip of just .81. Now, the Padres have won their last 3 straight, with all 3 victories coming at the expense of the Rangers. They've actually put up 26 total runs in those 3 contests. San Diego's in the top 10 in scoring, top 10 in offensive walks. Fernando Tatis Jr. currently leads the club in virtually everything. He's batting .317 with 12 homers, 29 batted in. He's also got an OBP just 7 points shy of 400. Tatis is first in the big leagues in homers, first in runs batted in. Trent Grisham currently leads the club in walks with 18 of them. He's also pounded 4 homers himself and scored 16 total runs. And Manny Machado scored 16 times himself and smacked 5 doubles. Machado's also been walked 15 times on the season as well. A lot of free passes for this San Diego squad. The Padres are in the top 3 in hits allowed at home, top 10 in runs allowed at home. They're currently 8-3 ATS in their games at Petco Park. They are taking on a Rangers club who's lost 4 in a row, including a 10-6 loss to the Rockies during that span. Texas has a win percentage of just .435, and they find themselves 6 games behind the Athletics in the AL West. They're also winning just 30% of their games away from home, and they dropped 8 of 13 as the official underdog. Texas is in the bottom 5 in hits per game, bottom 10 in runs allowed. The Rangers currently average just 3.8 runs per contest. Now, Kyle Gibson is on the bump here for the Rangers, and he is just 1-2 on the year with 7 walks and a 1.48 whip. And when it comes to the total in this one, 70% of the Rangers' road games this season got over the number. They also went 5-0 to the over in their last 5 meetings with the Padres. Give me San Diego minus 1.5 in the over 8.5 in that game. And with that said, we're going to move into our next and final matchup for the show. It's going to be the D-backs versus the Athletics, 9:40 p.m. Eastern start time. The A's are minus 155. Total's 8.5, juiced 15 cents to the over. The D-backs are plus $1.30 for an upset win. And if you like Arizona catching the 1.5, they're minus 155 to cover. Alex Young for Arizona, Sean Manaea for the A's. Manaea's 0-2 on the season with a 7.65 ERA. He's currently got a 1.60 whip. And meanwhile, the A's lost in 3 out of Sean's last 5 starts. And speaking of losing, the A's actually lost 2 out of their last 3, both defeats coming against Arizona. The A's are in the top 3 in most strikeouts at the plate, and they also rank in the bottom 10 in hits on average per game. Now, the A's are also averaging double-digit strikeouts at home. They're taking on an Arizona team who's won 6 out of their last 7, including a 3-game sweep of the Padres. Arizona's in the top 10 in hits, top 3 in fewest strikeouts at the plate. Alex Young is 1-0 on the season with 15 strikeouts in just 14 innings of work. He's also walked just 3 and has a whip of 1.14. The D-backs also rank in the top 10 in striking batters out, and they rank in the top 10 in road hits. Ketel Marte currently leads the club in hits. He's batting .337 with 6 doubles and 12 runs. Starling Marte currently leads the club in batting average. He's currently batting .349 with 6 doubles and 11 batted in. He also stole 3 bases. And Cole Calhoun currently leads the club in homers and RBI. He's hit 7 home runs and batted in 18. Christian Walker's also amongst the league leaders in doubles with 10 as well. Now, total-wise, 4 out of the D-backs' last 6 ball games fell under the posted total. Meanwhile, 7 out of the A's last 13 home games stayed under the number themselves. So with all that in mind, I'm going to lean toward another dog in this one. Give me the underdog D-backs plus 1.5 and the under 8.5 in that game. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Once again, don't forget to check me out on Patreon. If you guys, decide to sign up for a package today on Patreon, just keep in mind that we bill you the day you sign up and then the first of every month following that. But most importantly, guys, got to thank you for joining me right here on YouTube. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Thursday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my website at patreon.com/BrockPage.